Welcome everyone. Shabbat Shalom. We begin with the beautiful poem of Shabbat. We welcome Shabbat with the words of Shalom Aleichem, and the angels of Shabbat. Join with me. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharei, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Rachem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Archuni L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzidechem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Shabbat Shalom, Cantor Gurney.
Shabbat Shalom, Rabbi Nanus. Great to be with you.
It's great to be with you and to have the angels of Shabbat in our midst with your beautiful voice, bringing them and welcoming. It's been a beautiful day. It's a beautiful Erev Shabbat to be celebrating with everyone. I know we're starting to celebrate outside, but it's also nice to be with those who can't get out and can still connect with us on the screen. So, and speaking of people connecting with us, we have a beautiful bar mitzvah family that we want to invite to join us right now. The Kaplan family. Hi, everyone. Mazel tov. We have Allison and Jason and the bar mitzvah boy, Jake. So tomorrow he's going to be having his bar mitzvah. He's going to become a man. Are you ready to be a man? Yes, absolutely.
Jake is so ready. He's been ready for about, I don't know, at least 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Great. So the Cantor is now we're going to invite Allison to light the Shabbat candles for us first.
Wonderful. And as those candles are lit, we take a moment to bring that beautiful holy light in, and we'll join in the blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav וציוונו להדליק נר של Shabbat.
Amen. Beautiful. And now we invite Jason to hold up the Kiddush cup as the cantor chants the Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lemase v'reshit ki hu yom techilah lemikra kodesh zecher yitziat mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahava u'v'ratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekaresh hashabat. Amen.
L'chaim. Drink. Beautiful. And now the bar mitzvah boy take the challah. Wow, that's a beauty.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Now you can take some. Oh, delicious. Mazel tov. So you have
Can you bring the leftover of that challah tomorrow?
Yes.
Because
Don't
by
worry.
1:30 tomorrow, I'm going to be starving.
We have a big one coming.
Thank you. Beautiful.
So we wish you Shabbat Shalom, Kaplans, and Mazel Tov. And tomorrow's the big day. I'm sure it'll be beautiful.
So looking
Thank
forward.
you. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat
Thank you.
Shabbat Shalom.
Welcome.
We continue now with, I have to say, it's one of my favorite Shabbat song, Lecha Dodi, which is so full of love and beauty. It starts with, "Come, my beloved, let us greet the Shabbat." So, and this was written by a Kabbalist, Shlomo Alkabetz, in 17th century Tzfat, but that he called everyone my beloved, men, women. It was just this idea of we're full of love as we go out to welcome the Shabbat, Lecha Dodi.
And it is a beautiful, relatively new melody composed in the last year or so. Beautiful and gentle and delicate. And I hope you'll enjoy and sing along. Lecha Dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, שם ולתפארת ולתהילה. לך אדוני לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך אדוני Shabbat, b'nei Shabbat Kabbalat. Likrat Shabbat, lechu v'nelcha, ki mekor haberacha, merosh mikedem nesucha, sov ma'aseh b'machshava techila. Chadodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Chadodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Hitorri, Kivarech kumi ori, shir daberi, kavod Adonai, alayich nigla, chadodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Chadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat Kabbalat.
So if the verse is about we being the beloved, the last verse is about the bride, the Shabbat bride, the Shabbat Kala. And in this last verse, she's called the crown of her husband. And who is the husband? According to the Kabbalists, the Jewish people is the husband, and the Shabbat is our bride. Now, there's an interesting difference of opinion. Some call the Shabbat a queen. The queen is if she is married to God. Then if God's a king, the Shabbat is a queen. But if she's married to us, like the Kabbalists believe, then we are the groom and she is our crown. And when we say at the end of this verse, Boi Kala, come, bride, enter into our midst, we actually bow our heads and welcome her as a royal bride. The last verse of Lecha Dodi.
בשמחה ובצהלה בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה גם בשמחה ובצהלה la la la
It's so beautiful.
That melody, Susan, was composed by a marvelous composer, singer, musician. His name is Yehuda Glantz, born and raised in Argentina, and now makes Israel his home, and a contemporary chassid. And if you go online, you can listen to a lot of his music and concerts, and he is just a beautiful, beautiful talent. So that's a wonderful addition to our settings of Lecha Dodi.
Oh, it's beautiful, beautiful. And now that we have the angels and the Shabbat Kala, the Shabbat bride, we're ready to welcome in the divine Adonai, God, within us, within the world, within each other, for the Baruch Hu. So I talked about the connection that we might feel with each other. And I just, for some reason this week, I'm really thinking about the fact that all over the world, Jews are celebrating Shabbat, celebrating Shabbos, that we're all singing Lecha Dodi, we're lighting candles, we're drinking from the Kiddush cup, and we're blessing the challah. And this connection, this holiness, is something we've been doing for at least 2,500 years. And so let us connect to each other in the world and in our history as we continue that chain of tradition as we now prepare to chant the Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Let's all join together in the chanting of V'ahavta. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha uvechol nafshecha uvechol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
So, Cantor, in this week's Torah portion, it's very sad in ways. Miriam dies and Aaron dies. And 2 weeks ago, the Jewish people said they were going to have to wander for 40 years. And now it's like 40 years have passed. I mean, it's interesting that they don't really talk about what happened. But what I was reading about Miriam as we go into the Michamocha, I've always said that she took her timbrels with her because it was part of her. It was so important. But I read something else that I really liked, which is that the women who sang and danced, even in their darkest time in slavery, when they were running for their lives, they believed they would sing again. Mm. We will sing again. And I think that's such a lesson for all of us, right? That when there's a dark time, we have to remember we will sing again.
I love that. I love that idea. I love that the teaching, because, I think for all people, but clearly for Jews, from all of our sacred texts and traditions and the way we pray to this very day, everything is through song. Song is life itself.
Yes, especially from a Cantor would believe that.
Of course he would.
Yes. So we now continue with the Michamocha.
Another beautiful melody from Israel by Oran Eldor. Enjoy this Michamocha. You might even want to sing along. Michamocha ba'elim Adonai Michamocha ba'elim Michamocha nedar ba'kodesh Michamocha nedar Norat hilot seifele מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
So the Hashkivenu prayer is really popular with the Browerman Elementary School students and the camp kids because of the tune. They love the tune, they love the melody, but it's really a very profound, important prayer that we often chant, but we don't really know what it's really about. So I'd like to read you the actual meaning of the Hashkivenu prayer because I think it resonates on so many levels and ask God for so many things that we need right now. So this is what we're saying when we sing or chant the Hashkivenu. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace and raise us up, our guardian, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel for your name's sake. Be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow, things everybody is experiencing right now. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and coming to life and to peace evermore. Hashkivenu.
השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, לשלום, והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים. פרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך. Shelter us beneath thy wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. 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 Amen.
We continue now with the Amidah, the prayer where we ask God's blessings for the sakes of our ancestors. And I like to add that there are people in our lives who are recently have been in our lives and for their merit as well. We ask God's blessing. If you'd like to stand, you may do so now. The Amidah.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Koneh Hakol, V'Zocher Chaste Avot ve'Imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'nehem, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה, אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל.
We take a few moments. We take a few moments now for silent reflection and prayer.
רצון רפי, ניהול רצון רפי, והגיון ליבי לפניך, אדוני צורי וגואלי. Meditation of my heart be acceptable before
So as I mentioned, this week's Torah portion, it's called Chukat, it's full of a lot of emotion for anyone who reads it. As I said, it begins, Miriam dies. Tomorrow I'm going to devote the whole Shabbat service to Miriam, but Miriam dies, and then immediately after, there's no water. Water disappears. And the people start complaining and crying, and again, really pushing Moses to the brink. And we need water. We need water. Why are we going to die of thirst? Why did you take us out of Egypt to die of thirst? Their usual complaint. And God speaks to Moses and says to Moses, there's this rock. Speak to this rock and water will come forth. But Moses is, I believe, so stricken with grief at the loss of his daughter, his sister. And I'm so tired of these complaints that he doesn't do what God exactly told him to do. He takes his staff and he hits the rock twice, and the water gushes forth. And it says in the text that God then is angry with Moses and says, because of this, you and Aaron are not going to go into the promised land. You're going to die before you get there. And this has been a very troubling text for the rabbis and for commentaries and commentators for hundreds of years. It seems so unfair. After all this time and everything Moses has done for God, he does this, as we say, one little thing in our eyes. He hits the rock instead of speaking to the rock, and now he's being punished with this horrible punishment. And the rabbis try to find these explanations. Well, he was impatient. Well, he didn't have enough faith in God. Well, he didn't listen to God's words. But they don't seem acceptable, especially to us in 2021. It seems such a small infraction to be punished in this way. So how can we look at it today? And I think after this past year, we see the truth. Sometimes things just don't work out. Sometimes things just aren't fair. And they don't happen the way they should. And that is part of life. Sometimes we don't get what we want. And sometimes people die for no reason or lose their job or terrible things happen. And we can say God's punishing us, or we can just say this is part of life. This is part of the pain of living, which does exist. But what we can look further is, how does Moses handle this? First of all, Moses is heartbroken, and he asks God a couple of times, please change your mind, and God says, no, that's it, don't ask me again. But then Moses does something so gracious and so kind. The whole book of Deuteronomy, the 5th book of the Torah, Moses then says, fine, I'm going to leave a legacy. And the whole book of Deuteronomy is a repeat. It is a recitation of everything that the Jewish people have gone through and what they should remember. Moses repeats the 10 commandments. Moses puts the Shema in this book. He puts the V'ahavta in this book. So Moses doesn't only make the best of it. Moses gives a gift to those that will follow him. He doesn't dwell on what he has lost or will not get, but he dwells on how he can make the best of it, how he can make meaning of his life. And I think this is a lesson for all of us. When things don't work out, we have to find a way to turn it into something meaningful for those around us and for ourselves. And when Moses died, the way it's talked about, he was the most wonderful prophet ever. It was, according to the rabbis, a kiss. It was like God kissed him and he just went to the next world. He wasn't buried. They say he didn't even decay or anything. He just became a pure soul. But what Moses left behind is the Torah, which we have today. If we could leave one fraction behind for our the people that follow us, that Moses left for us, we would be, as I say from the Kabbalists, adding so many sparks of light into the world. So let's try to take an example from Moses And when things are disappointing or don't work out, find a way to create something meaningful that we can leave behind. Shabbat Shalom. We continue now with the Misha Beirach prayer, a prayer for those who need healing right now. If there's someone in your life who needs a blessing of healing, physical healing, spiritual healing, emotional healing. I see Merle has written in, Alan Schlossberg, Dan Weir, Sharon. I don't know if it's Sharon Weiner and Sharon Fisher or Sharon Weiner Fisher, but these people are need our blessing. And is there anyone else in your life? Please say their names out loud at home as the Cantor sings the Misha Beirach.
Misheberach Avotenu Kol HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say,
So I'd like to add these names for the Misha Beirach that are in the chat. Muriel Blankfort, Faith Gomberg, Paulette Hawkins, Nancy Radin, Arlene Fishbach, Elliot Zundel, Nicole Alkov, Robin Kaplan, Helen Mayer, Karen Ludwig, Amy Jo Friedman. May they all be blessed with refuah shlema, complete healing. So I'd love to split the screen with the Cantor for the announcements. So Cantor, we're outside, we're meeting people, we're even going inside right now.
We are indeed. As a matter of fact, tomorrow we have 2 B'nai Mitzvah at the Glazer campus, both of which will take place in our sanctuary.
My God.
Yes. Oh my God, indeed. Yeah.
So that's exciting. And next Friday night, there's going to be rooftop ruach. Try to say that 5 times fast. With Rabbi Nickerson and Cantor Peacock on the roof of the parking structure outside. Unlimited attendance. Now we don't have any more limits. And I think the week after that, we're back at the Ermis campus for something as well.
Yeah.
For Shabbat. And also, we have a new thing called the Mitzvah Corps that I want to encourage you to join, where we do, special things for people in our community. This is not the same as the Car Center, which is for out of our community. This is for in our community. It's making phone calls to sick people, to seniors, giving rides, delivering Shabbat bags, welcoming our new Choosing Judaism graduates and making them feel comfortable. Lots of other things. And if you'd like to sign up, please do so. You'll see in our announcements how to sign up for that. It would be a mitzvah to join the Mitzvah Corps. And I think that's all that I want to announce this week. So now, is there anything else, Cantor, that you can think of?
No, I think so. I wanted to just sneak in one little mention, just going back to your beautiful explanation of the Hashkivenu.
Please.
In the traditional Siddur, there's one phrase that is there that the Reform liturgists took out. And that phrase is V'haser Satan milfanenu ume'acharenu. Remove Satan, Satan, from presenting a stumbling block in front of us or for chasing after us. Satan.
Well, we know Satan can be manifest in many forms. Doesn't have to just be a devil. It's all kinds of hatred and behaviors and violence. And yes, we need protection from that. Absolutely. And I say we put it back in.
Next time I sing it, I'll say that phrase and say, in honor of Rabbi Nanus.
Thank you.
We're going to include Satan in Ashkivenu. I do want to mention one of the things, Susan, just to put it in people's minds, so they can save the date. Again, as Rabbi said, we're going to be outdoors all summer long at any number of our campuses, and we're early stages of planning. I believe an extraordinary and wonderful event for Friday night, August 6th. We're going to have a grand Friday night experience with hundreds of people. We're going to bring our two communities. We are really one community, but we're going to bring all those from Wilshire Boulevard Temple and a University Synagogue. Again, we are all one now, but this is a wonderful opportunity for all of us to actually be together in person on Friday night, August 6th at the Irmis campus. We're going to be out on the lawn, all clergy, all of our cantors, all of our rabbis joining in song and prayer and just a festive, beautiful event bringing us all together. So put that on your summer calendar. Okay?
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
So now we turn to remember those who are no longer with us as we prepare for our Kaddish. We begin by remembering those who passed away during Shloshim, the past 30 days.
Ruth Borden, Nathaniel Friedman, Warren Allen Goldberg, Elaine Goldsmith, Ben Kaplan, John Mills, Norman Saunders, Joni Seff, Dorothy Strauss. We also remember those whose yortzites, the anniversaries of their deaths, occurred during this past week. Mildred Barish, Elihu Ben Gera, Misha Bellick, Roberta Bjarnason, Sarah Collins Blakeman, Olga Brewer, Leonard Cohen, Rosalind Cooperman, Susan Crane, Frederick Creamer, Max Demoff, Sheldon Dorff, Frederick Fenton, Jerome Fink, Molly Fliegelman, Ralph Fomel, Mayor Frankel, Aaron Friedman, Ruth Friedman, Merton Sills Friedman, Hanya Freiberg, Joseph Friedman, Marjorie Friedman, Marlene Friedman, Marvin Gantz, Donna Ray Goldstein, Michael Goldstein, George Goldfein, Leo Gold, Judy Lynn Goldenberg, Etta Goldman, Anita Greenberg, Susan Greenberg, Howard Greller, Max Grosslam, Felix Guggenheim, Sidney Hirsch, Dora Hoffman, Marcia Jacobs, Henry Jaffe, Gertrude Justman, Lucille Kaplan, Margot Katz, Sidney Katz, Leslie Klein, Margaret Klein, Stephen Klein, Sylvia Creven, Albert Cooperstock, Jeanette Lampert, Sam Levin, Alphonse Levy, Lenore Littman, Yale Lurie, Harry Luskin, Bess Lustig, Paul Mayer, Matatia Malamed, Ronald Meltzer, Minerva Mendelson, James Miller, David Minlin, Jenny Minlin, Celia Morgalen, Stanley Mosk, Avraham Munish, Suzanne Fine Murphy, Mayor Nagy, Max Newman, Ann Nickel, Victor Noodleman, Jack Opper, Gary Parks, Eric Paul Nass, William Richards, Ralph Rosenbluth, Isaac Roston, Oscar Reese, Richard Ritter, Sylvia Rodsky, Ernest Roseman, Arthur Rosenbaum, Milton Rosenfield, Sally Rose, Misha Rudin, Martin Schatz, Kelly Schiffer, Paul Schneider, Sherwood Schwartz, Lawrence Searman, Sarita Silverman Unger, Joel Simon, Ruth Solway, Gideon Stein, Janet Steinsapper, Lottie Talpis, Samuel Taplin, Benjamin Tarshish, Florence Tucker, Alvin Vogel, Beverly Prentice Wagner, Louis Wallach, Frank Webb, Myrna Weinstein, Jill Welsh, David Wilkes, Penny Winthrop, Lynn Wolfe, Michael Zellickson. We also remember those who gave their lives defending the United States of America and the State of Israel, those who died in senseless violence, terrorism, or disease, and those who have no one to say Kaddish for them. We take them all as our own. You may rise now if you wish.
Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
B'yalma divrach irutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala u'v'zman kari v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach li'olam omei omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yitale v'yitalal shmei dekudesha brichu. Ve'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechemata damiram b'yoma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shamaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'imramav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen.
Shalom bimroma, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimroma, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimroma, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'oko Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'oko Yisrael. Yaseh shalom b'maromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Shalom b'maromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Aseh shalom b'maromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'oko Yisrael. Yaseh shalom. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'oko Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'oko Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. ואמרו אמן.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.